What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's just jump right into it. And let's talk about it. Limbo Lillard. Man, I mean, how fast do things change? Man, my guy goes from Logo Lillard. Right now, he's Limbo Lillard. I mean, he gonna get back to Logo Lillard now. Don't trip. He gonna get back to being Logo Lillard. You know what I'm saying? But man. Right now, he's Limbo Lillard, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about that, man. Like, it almost feels disrespectful, but then at the same time, you know, you definitely understand from the business aspect and how the Trailblazer front office definitely wants to receive something good, you know, for Dame. You know what I'm saying? Some good pieces in return for Dame. Man, it just leaves a lot of questions about, you know, obviously they respect Dame's value. You know, is Dame's value being respected more than Dame the person? You know what I'm saying? And again, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? You're a commodity. You know what I mean? Wow, man, it's tough to see. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like a lot of people. I'm tired of it. You know, and I can only imagine how Dame feels. Dame is a real soldier. Like, I know, you know, whatever, you know. Everybody's always said that Dame was a real one, and then people turn their backs when he, you know, asked to be traded. It is what it is, man. But Dame is a soldier, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's handling this very well. You know, you would see a lot of weaker people, you know, on Twitter right now ranting and trying to do whatever they can to get themselves, you know, traded immediately or as soon as possible. You know what I'm saying? But Dame's trying to really play this respectful and a lot because, again, he wants to go to one place, and that's Miami. So he's trying to really be patient and respectful. And it might pay off. You know, I mean, right now it's Limbo Lillard, but patience is a virtue, and a lot of times it will pay off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it doesn't. Trust me on that. But sometimes it does. It's a roll of the dice. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us are just hoping that gamble pays off. You know what I'm saying? Especially for Dame. I mean, of course, you know, me personally, you know, I want Chauncey Billups to succeed in Portland. You know what I'm saying? And I know Chauncey wants the best team possible that he can coach. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all for that. I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also one of those guys, because I've spent time coaching as well. I'm one of those guys who, you know, I believe in alchemy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I can turn metal into gold. You know what I'm saying? Rocks into diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe I can do that, and only because I've done it before. You know, I really think that's something Chauncey has the ability to do. I mean, I've never played in the NBA. I just know the game of basketball. But when you know the game of basketball and you can add experience of playing in the league, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot to offer. And not only that, not only do you have a lot to offer, but you have a lot that you can do when it comes to developing not only an entire team, but young talent individually as well. I just don't know how much Chauncey is motivated to do that, but nonetheless, he has all the tools to get that done. And me personally, I would love to see whoever they have out there on the court, you know, succeed under his tutelage. You know what I'm saying? Under his mentorship as well, and coaching. You know, But I'm one of those guys who I don't feel like they need to get the world back for Dame. I feel like, as I've said before, and I'm going to stand on that Dame deserves a certain amount of respect, not only for his value in return, but also for how you cut that string. You know what I'm saying? How you let him go. You know what I'm saying? I think things might work out. And the reason I say might is because, it's limbo, but it's a standoff because it's one other team, basically. Now, obviously, you hear about the Bulls and the Raptors being interested, but they're interested, if I'm not mistaken, in Dame. You know what I'm saying? Not in any other piece that may be moved from Miami for Dame. And then in that aspect, that's not going to work well for the Heat because they want to try to maintain, for the most part, their big pieces to go along with Dame. Because the whole point of them acquiring Dame would be for them to actually win the championship and not just get to the finals like they did versus the Nuggets, but for them to actually win a championship. So they're not willing to give up their big pieces. You know what I'm saying? Anybody with some common sense understands that, right? So, that's where you see the standoff, you know what I'm saying? And you got Dame in limbo because of that, and out of respect for Dame, they're not just sending him wherever, right now. Now, I'm not saying he might end up somewhere else, but out of that respect, they're not just saying, man, whatever, we gonna send you wherever the heck we feel like and where we get the best or the most for you, period. You know what I'm saying? It's just limbo right now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not a good look right now for all parties involved. It's just not a good look, period. Dame not knowing, the Trailblazers not executing anything. The players on the roster now not knowing for certainty, because now you hear reports that the Trailblazers are hoping Dame returns, that they're just stalling so long that Dame just kind of gets over it and says, you know what, whatever, never mind. Let's get back to work. And that may happen as well, but that's what they're hoping. You know what I'm saying? As far as the reports are, that's what the Trailblazers are hoping, is that Dame decides to come back. Now, again, and I'm sure everybody in that locker room will welcome him back, but just going through those emotions of feeling like he's not going to be there and preparing that way to, oh, okay, the homie's coming back. All right, let me get my mind back ready to be on the bench. let me get ready to be on that bench more than I thought. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it's going to be, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Chauncey's going to try to win games. He's not just trying to burn games and develop guys. They had 2 years, and this is my whole point. This is why, if you go back in my videos, you'll see this. They've already burned 2 whole years. You know what I'm saying? So you should have already developed players, and those players should be ready right now, either as assets or to contribute for a playoff run. You know what I'm saying? But some of those players are gone. Dame is in limbo. So now it's like, well, what the heck? You know what I'm saying? So now you're trying to magically put that back together somehow, and it's not going to be what it was. You got a couple new players, you know what I'm saying, that you brought in last year. It's just, man, I don't even know if Dame is comfortable with, the culture right now. You know what I'm saying? With everything going on with the team right now. I don't know. I'm not saying he is or isn't. I'm just saying I don't know. You know what I mean? Dame is a certain type of guy. He's real. He's a soldier. You know what I'm saying? He's not that far different from his head coach. But there's not a lot of players on that roster that way. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of players with that background. There's not a lot of players with that mentality. You know, you got to handle Shaedon Sharpe carefully. You know what I'm saying? As great as Shaedon Sharpe is or can be, he's fragile. And I'm not saying he's weak. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got to be careful how you handle some of these guys mentally and emotionally. You know, you might push them too far one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not certain that Dame even wants to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? Hence, all the talk you heard, you know, about the entitlement of young players that Dame kept saying. Like, Dame's not close to everybody in the NBA every day. And I'm saying he has friends in the NBA that he speaks to. I'm just saying he's around his teammates way more than he's around any of these other young players that he may be speaking of. So it's safe to say that he was probably speaking more so on the young players that he deals with directly. You know, and then also what he hears about from his other friends in the NBA who are also dealing with playing with some guys who may be, you know, of the entitled mentality. You know what I'm saying? So then there's all of that. I mean, and then you have to think about all of that. If you're asking him to come back into the mix, now you have to think about all of that. That's not going to make for good chemistry if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now Scoot, obviously, he wasn't speaking of Scoot. Scoot wasn't even drafted yet, but Scoot's going to work. Scoot's going to work. And it's of my opinion that Scoot should be starting day one. Not because, I'm just saying, if you're the Trailblazers and you're building, you're developing, Scoot's your day one starter. If you're the Trailblazers and you're just, you know, you're trying to put together something that's working and winning now, then of course, you know, you got to do what you got. Scoot's going to come off that bench. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like the Trailblazers have intentions on putting something together that's working and winning right now. Which is, again, why Dame is in limbo. See how all those pieces, see how all of that stuff adds up? You know, and I'm not saying like I know all this stuff firsthand. It's just a matter of, you know, process of elimination and deduction. You know what I'm saying? Like it just all adds up. You know, I mean, it just all adds up. You know, they want to put something together that can win now, or at least compete now. You know, they don't want to burn another year developing guys. They just it's limbo, y'all. Limbo. You know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. It's just limbo. You know what I mean? Limbo Lillard. The Trailblazers are in limbo, but yet and still, of course, I'm rocking with him. You know, I'm going to root for him no matter what. I'm rocking with Dame. I'm going to root for him no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking with Chauncey. I'm going to root for him no matter what. You know, that's just how it goes down. Period. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, the team is in limbo. Dame is in limbo. Something's got to be done, man. Something has to be done sooner than later. I mean, we're a few weeks away from training, from preseason and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on, something. I mean, come on, man. Let's get something done, man. Let's start being productive now. Let's start, you know what I'm saying, gaining ground on other teams now. However that may be. Whether that's little steps or big steps, whatever. But let's get something done, man. This is crazy. I don't remember ever seeing a player of this caliber being left in limbo like this. That's why I started out by saying it's almost disrespectful. It's almost disrespectful. When have you seen a player of this caliber left in limbo and asked to deal with it? Whether it's in hopes that he changed his mind, or you just trying to find the best deal, not being satisfied with anything offered, being limited to only dealing with a couple teams, if not just one team. All of that being the case, man, when have you seen that? You know? And I mention all those things because, yes, those are all factors. You know, those are all variables that have been given a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? So this is what you see going on when it shouldn't be. Damian Lillard should not be in limbo. The Portland Trailblazers as an organization should not be stuck in the mud or in limbo right now. Period. But with some of the choices that have been made, this is where you're at, man. This is where you're at. So now you got to work twice as hard to get yourself out of that mud, to get yourself out of limbo. Oh man, I just hope everything works out. You know what I'm saying? It's lasted way too long, you know. So let's see what happens next, man. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think, man, about Damian Lillard, Limbo Lillard. What's going to happen next? You know what I'm saying? If he's even going to go anywhere, where he's going to end up going. I mean, this is wow, man. These are the days of our lives. You know what I'm saying? For real, man. But all right, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. If this world were mine.